Yeah, Jacob, I don't know what was going on with the other one. It just kept reloading. I don't know what was going on with it. Hank Snow, what's going on? Hope you're enjoying your Florida weather while we're up here freezing. Actually, it's not too bad this week. I think we're up in the about the 50s, so it's not bad. Mike Big Show, how's it going, man? Tackle Box TV, what's going on, brother? Jason Beck says, freezing rain here in Jersey. Dude, keep all the freezing rain you want. I don't want nothing to do with it. So, Hank Snow, what's going on, man? Yeah, Hank, you've always got good weather. I don't know what you're talking about. All-Star says, I'm sorry I didn't make it last week. I was asleep. My mama didn't want to wake me up. Dude, it's too early to be in bed. It's like 8 o'clock your time. Yeah, Jason, you can say nope all you want, but trust me, you're keeping it, man. I don't want nothing to do with that freezing rain weather or anything like that. Hopefully the stream. He says I can talk about those big bass I caught yesterday. Hey, man, have at it. We're all up in here to talk fishing anyway. Georgia Bass Masters, how's it going, man? Nice of you to join us. All-Star says it's been so crappy here. It's freezing cold out and can't do nothing. There's ice on the ground every night. I thought you lived pretty far down south, Jacob. I didn't think it'd get that cold where you were at. Upstate Niagara, how's it going? See, Jason Beck says I'm spending too much money on 6 Cents website right now. Yeah, I can get me pricey. They got good products, so I'll give them that. There's nothing in their arsenal that I don't like. I'll say that. Tom Mix, what's going on, man? How's it going? Say 10 Horse Monty just walked in the door, so he'll be sitting down here in just a second. I had your chair over here.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool.
I'm trying to restart it a couple times. So,
what's up, folks? I made it. My mail truck's trying to kill me.
Your mail truck is?
Yeah, it's been in the shop like 6 times in the last month. There's like an exhaust line that keeps coming off, and as soon as it comes off, all this exhaust comes into the cab of the truck, and I got to deal with it.
Like trying to commit suicide on
I don't know what's going on.
There.
I mean, I thought we were good, but apparently not.
Yeah, not after 6 times. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of getting mad at the mechanic.
I see Sophie made it on.
Yep, represent. So yeah, it was a nice day though.
Yeah, it was pretty decent outside for the weather.
Yeah, it really was.
Hopefully I think we got like a week and a half of this. So
yeah, I saw Thursday's supposed to be in the 60s.
Yeah, or Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday and Thursday. I think. Yeah,
got a little rain Thursday.
Yeah. So that's nice.
It'd be nice if we could get off before it got dark. But you might.
Yeah, no kidding. Pretty much 5:30, 6 o'clock. I make money.
Gotta get some Santa letters out.
That's right. That's for the kids.
Let's see. So Hank Snow. So what's up, dude? For you?
Hey, what's up, Hank?
See how much the bunkers on the wall weigh. Georgia Bassmasters. This one over here was about 9, and then this one here was about 7.
Some good looking fish.
Yeah, that was a fatty up there.
Yeah, it's long too.
Yeah, it's a good healthy one there. That actually both of them come from Missouri, so
really,
that was up around House Springs.
Okay, I think that Rage Crawl's seen better days though.
Yeah. Speaking of which, actually, I'll tell you guys here a little secret on this. Oh, hopefully this will get a good picture here. And I won't get close because the camera will not focus in on that. But That is an EWG, EWG hook. This is a 4/0 hook that my nephew was using. This is the actual crawl that he caught his almost 9-pounder on. This is what happened to that hook. You can see how bent up it is and everything.
Like a circle hook.
Yeah, it just mangled that hook. So that's I keep it up there for him. You know, he just likes to keep it around. So that's what he caught his biggin on. Let's see, I'll start. Drop a big thumbs up for Backyard Bats. And yeah, definitely, guys. So we got 16 people in here, only 5 thumbs up. Make sure you're smashing that. I'd greatly appreciate it. See, Chris Norris, Tactical Bass, and just announced their own crankbait through River to Sea today. Wow, I didn't see that.
It's about time.
Yeah, I mean,
they do enough testing. They should have their own lines of everything, really. Yeah, I know he's got the jig head.
Yeah, he's got the Matt Allen swim bait head.
Right.
Yeah, that thing it's pretty good too. So I've got 2 or 3 of them laying around here somewhere. They work pretty good.
Has he got a screw lock on it too?
That one,
I like the ones with the screw lock.
I'm trying to think if we've had. I don't think it did. I didn't look and see. I haven't used it in a while. Let's see. Tom says, "You catch it for 15 years. Never seen one there.
Never seen one there before. That's a good sign. I wonder what's going on there, Tom. Is they just stock them, or zebra mussels? Is the lake getting clearer? Usually, when the lakes start clearing up, for whatever reason, the smallmouth seems to start taking over the lake.
Well, I mean, you can look at like Kentucky Lake. A lot of guys didn't see them down there in the northern end for a long, long time, and now they're starting to show up a little bit more and more. So
yeah, they're real common now. They're in Barkley too. You catch them in Barkley quite a bit.
I think I've caught them more in Barkley than I have at Kentucky Lake, especially up, I'd say, north part of Barkley.
I love smallmouth. They're beautiful. I caught a few down at Pickwick a couple weeks ago, and it had been a while since I caught some. But
now, you ever
beautiful fish.
Creek fishing or anything around here for them?
No, I used to though. There are quite a few in these creeks around here.
And people don't realize how good of smallmouth are in creeks like that. And you get a good little pull or something that's in there, you can hit some pretty good ones.
I used to take that little either the little Rebel Wee Crawl crankbait or a baby Xeris Spook. Yeah, real small. I mean, like a 2-inch.
2-inch.
Yeah,
or
a tiny torpedo.
I think I might have one over
there. Yeah, that's a little smallmouth killer in the creeks.
Yeah, I think my big one in the creeks that I fished probably the last 2 years has been just a small 2-inch or 2.5-inch swim bait on just a regular open jig head. And I mean, they kill that thing. They love it. Other than the packet crawl, that thing stands straight up.
Yeah,
man, they eat that thing. Yeah. Holy cow. So let's see what we got here. Whitewell fishing. What's happening, fellas?
What's up, WWF?
Not much, man. Seen your video drop a while ago. I didn't get to watch it yet, though. Looks like you got some pretty good stuff coming. Pretty solid. Whitewell says, he's answering Chris.
Capitals 2018. Bass fishing in Ontario right now sucks, but muskie has been on. Got my PB muskie on Friday, 52 inches. Man, that's a horse.
Holy cow.
That is a monster.
Moccasin Lures in the house. How's it going, man? Aaron Wetzel, too. How's it going? 52-inch muskie.
Yeah, I haven't caught a muskie in a while. I didn't catch one.
I try not to, but it's inedible.
Yeah.
Every time you go over to Kincaid, it's like if you're throwing anything that's moving, it's hard not to catch those things.
Yeah, we got a lake that's about an hour from the house over in southern Illinois called Lake Kincaid, and it's a pretty good muskie lake. There's a lot of mid 40-inch muskie, and I'm sure there's some that are bigger. But typically, if you go over there 6 or 7 times, you're going to hang into one while you're bass fishing. A lot of times it's just fishing something real small, like a small jig, or I call them on baby brush hogs, little square bills. A lot of times they'll sit right underneath the boat and Capital 28 line up.
Living crap out of it every time. Yeah, there ain't nothing like seeing one of them things. I call them the torpedo turds.
But yeah, gators. Suckers are mean.
Connections unstable. Got better service than we've ever had. Better not be unstable. So let's see. Whitewell fishing. Tactical crankbait is designed to be a cold water fall, winter, and spring deep diving crankbait.
Have to check those out.
Sounds pretty interesting. I mean, to cover fall, winter, and spring. I mean, I know a lot of guys that do a lot of deep cranking in the winter, but I think most of them guys are all down farther south. I personally don't do a whole lot of it here. I don't know about you, but
No, I really don't.
Georgia Bassmasters. How much does it run? Oh, he's talking White Whale. Okay.
David's in the house. What's up,
Yep.
crew? So, David?
White Whale, 18 foot or a little deeper on 10-pound fluorocarbon.
Let's get down there.
Yeah, it's pretty good. On 10-pound fluorocarbon.
It's kind of risky.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you guys. I mean, we'll go to Gabe next too. But I mean, when I'm fishing, let's say 15, I'll even say 12 foot. I would say 12 foot and deeper crankbaits. I think the smallest I'm going to go is about 12 pounds.
Yep.
I mean, that's just me, but I mean, you get down to that far down, that depth, and you're running over rocks and everything else, and I mean, you hit one thing, and I mean, your line is done.
Yeah.
I mean, then you load up with a bass, and it's not going to hold up real well, I don't think. Of course, I guess if you're cranking in the winter, you're going to have a lot less of a fight from a fish.
Sure.
But
those rocks are still hard.
Yeah, the rocks aren't going to change any. So.
Yeah, the rocks and wood, they bite the same. It doesn't matter how cold the water is.
You said, he's talking about the price up there, I guess. Okay. Sure, you got hands there.
Aaron looking at a new boat. Yeah.
I'm going Perfect Catch
Marina to buy a new boat. And I think I'm going to get a Z520L. Man.
Now, Aaron, is that through that same deal I was telling you about that Rodney was talking about? We're talking about Rodney. Really.
Oh, okay.
He's talking about buying some of the used FLW guys' boats.
Okay.
And I mean, that's a cheap way to go there too.
Right.
And they're already set up with everything on them. And they come with new carpet because they ripped all the carpet out for the carpet decals. So you got brand new carpet and everything in them.
Huh. And the wraps, they take the wrap off.
They take all the wrap off.
Gel coat's perfect, probably. It's not a bad deal.
No, I think you spent like $49,000.
Wow.
Aaron, I guess when you get that new boat, you're going to take me for a test drive and show me how it runs then.
What's up, Cheryl? Cheryl Powell's in the house. That's one of my coworkers. I hope she heard me talking about the LOVs that was trying to kill me in my mail truck. She knows all about them. She has to drive one every day too.
Yeah, maybe she was the one that helped plan it.
It's a big inside conspiracy. I don't know. Something's going on though, and got to get to the bottom of it.
Let's go back up here, Miss Tom. Let's see, Tom. Someone has introduced them within the last couple of years. I've caught at least 2 different year classes.
I don't know what you're talking about on that.
Someone has introduced
them. smallmouth. Back to the smallmouth.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Okay. That's good news, man. That's good.
Yeah, I personally, I love to have smallmouth in a fishery like that. I mean, the diversity that it has in there, I think it really makes it worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like places around here, they, for whatever reason, they're either sticking stripers in there or Kincaid, it's like musky in there, whatever. And I've heard Kincaid got smallmouth in there, but
they act completely different. So, if you have a lake that's got both of those species in there, it's a great training ground. You can mess around with the largemouth for a while, and then you can go out and figure out how to catch smallmouth. But you got to have a good population to make it worthwhile.
Let's see, Hank Snow. Got to do some northern fishing one day. Got to do some northern. Yeah, Hank, why don't you come up and, you know what? Instead of enjoying your nice 60 and 70 degree weather in Florida, you should drive your butt up here where it's 40 degrees, tops during the day, and try to catch a couple bass like the real men do up here. Instead of bragging about how cold it got down to 50 on you. He was giving me crap about that on Instagram the other day, talking about how cold it was and how bundled up like an Eskimo he was because it was 50 degrees. Yeah.
I don't think he'll be driving up here anytime soon.
No, I don't see that. Let's see what's All-Star. All the way back, fellas. Okay, better. Let's see here.
Scott Muskies on the Sweet Viewers. I think they I caught several on a baby brush hog, just like a cord, like a fence jig.
I will tell you, my number one lure for muskie over there has got to be whopper.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's one and done every time. I mean, they annihilate that thing.
They cut you
But
off.
it every time just cut you off like it's nothing. I'm like, I get tired of paying for whopper poppers over there.
Yeah, it gets expensive quick.
Yeah, especially for the bigger size, because that's what I throw over there typically. But you get in a little mess of bass, a good school of them, you'll see them where they're schooling up, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, here comes a big one, which you thought was a bass, and then it's just gone.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what's up, Dan? Dan Hill, yo.
Well, it sounds like we all should be starting to do some deep winter cranking if nobody else is doing it, right? Well, like I said, I'm not going to say nobody does it. We typically don't do it around here. I would say probably you get around probably Alabama, Mississippi area, stuff like that. I would say they're getting into their winter patterns, but it's not quite the cold that we see up here. So I think they're still hitting the crankbait down there in that winter pattern. But I don't, like I said, I can't think of too many people around here in the winter.
Our fish around here, and I'm sure it's like this in a lot of places, but they typically suspend, or they'll move up into that 8-foot zone or up shallower, and to feed. But a lot of times in the wintertime, you've got a lot of fish that are suspending. It's real frustrating. I'll mess with them for a while. I'll drop in front of them and play with them, and I'll get frustrated.
Like you throw like a bait blade or something, or blade bait,
yeah,
something like that. You can get right in front of their face. You can get them to trigger a bite every once in a while, but I think, like you said, a lot of them are suspended. Matter of fact, Saturday I went out and fished for just a little bit, and I was actually looking for a stump that I fish a lot, and it's a pretty good sized stump. And I looked around, I couldn't find it, and finally I went to turn the boat around, and happened to look down on my left side, and there was that stump, and I had probably a 5 or 6 pounder sitting on top of that stump that was under the water. But I guess that stump was nice and black on top, so it was warmer.
Really?
So he was just sitting right up on top of that thing.
Like a little heating pad.
Yeah. And I mean, as soon as I threw in there, he was gone. But
yeah.
I mean, I didn't even have a chance at him. But I thought that was pretty cool. See that. You'll see that, when you get your warmer days. But
if they're sunning.
Let's see where we at here. Tom says I hate autocorrect. Oh, for your Huskies? We got you, man.
Muskies, yeah. We're with you.
All right.
So did you did some fishing this weekend?
Saturday. I did a little bit, not much. I really didn't have any luck. I fished the deeper part of the dam with about 23, 24 foot. I could see them schooled up down there, but they were just suspended about 3 foot off the bottom.
What were your water temps over there?
Oh, about like 46.
46.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a couple spots that was 43. So it cooled off quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know if Bob's on here or not, but Bob Schultz or Slaughter. Sorry if I'm murdering your name there. He had said he had went over there, I guess, the weekend before, and it was like 54, 53, 54, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But he's in a kayak, so I'm guessing he probably got a lot of the surface temp. But mine's sitting a little bit lower, kind of picked up a little bit more true of the temp. But
yeah, I went over to Cedar. It was a week ago on a Sunday, and I only had a couple hours. I was waiting on the guy to get back from duck hunting. I purchased a new motor, a new 9.9 from the guy, so I just kind of putted around in the marina area, and the water temps were 54 degrees. And then we fished a tournament over there Saturday, and it was 47 to 48.
Yeah.
So it had dropped, that much.
Yeah, them couple nights, it got down cold. So,
but it bounced back to like 52. We went up to the north section of the lake, and we were fishing some of these grass mats on the north side of this pocket, and we saw 52-degree water temps at about 2 o'clock. So it jumped up.
Yeah, that should have been prime time right there.
Yeah.
Let's see where we're at here. Kevin says, getting anything on Black Friday? I don't know. There's a lot of really good deal coming up. I know Carl's got a big deal that took place, I guess, today. A couple other places got, I guess, some good deals going on. I think I'm just going to kind of hold off and see. It's not that I need anything. I want a lot of different things, but I'm just going to try to hold off a little bit. kind of see what comes out, this and that.
Yeah, I'll kind of look at what holes I've got in my arsenal over the last couple months and maybe restock. You know, I buy a lot of the same stuff over and over. You know, I just kind of have a few baits that I really like, and when they get low, I'll buy 4, 5, 6 packages of them. You know, depending on what they are. Black Friday's the time to do that, really.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat there. It's it's one of the things if you got like your plastics are a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
You'll go through so many of them in a year, especially where we fish. Whitewell Fishing does the ball or no. Oh, the bait is rated for 18 foot. He recommended 12 pound, the lowest. Matt said he got deeper on the 10-pound line. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I personally I wouldn't go below 12. And now if don't get me wrong, if you're finesse fishing or something like that down deep on a spinning set, then I might go lower. But
yeah, I fish 8 a lot with the shaky head stuff.
Right.
Crankbait when it's being on the bottom.
Yeah.
I've heard guys throwing 10XD on 8-pound test on particular, believe it or not. It's
I
down
would,
there around 30 feet.
I would be so afraid of just snapping it.
I don't know how you can throw it. I mean, you have to
you'd be scared.
Barely lob it and just have your brakes completely off.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you had maybe like just a medium light rod, I'd be scared to death of throwing that thing like that. Just one snap and it's done. So, Ryan Waterman says, "Have you ever used the jig kit from Tackle Warehouse with the skirt materials? Is it any good?" I have not, Brian. The jig kit.
Is that a skirt making tool that comes with some skirt tabs and stuff, or is that an actual box with different jigs in it?
All Star says he's back. Hopefully it works better. Yep, hope it does, man. Everything Fish, how's it going, man? Nice to see you. Whitewell Fishing. What kind and size of electronics are you guys running? Looking to get a 7-inch or 9-inch on my kayak. Want something that I can upgrade to smaller. Oh, upgrade to a smaller boat later. I typically run. I've got my Lowrance unit, which is Elite TI, for my main console. The Hummingbird I actually bought from Gabe to have on my trolling motor, just to have something up on the trolling motor, which is a 788 CI.
Yeah, I think so.
788 CI. So I don't have nothing special. The Elite TI is kind of my main one. I can do a lot of stuff with that I really like. The main reason I bought that one was for the mapping on it. I could actually map. The lake that I fish locally does not have a map for it. So I went out the first time I got it, mapped that whole lake, so it's got a map. So that's kind of nice to have that. But I mean, other than that, it has a side imaging and everything else on it. So I really enjoy that one. But
12, it's my running graph. I checked about the motor, and I've got a HCS 3, Gen 3. It's a 9-inch up front. But for a kayak, I'd probably 7-inch. Maybe, I don't know.
I would think it's big away.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I mean, they always say get the biggest screen you can afford for the money, but I don't know how that comes into kayak fishing. I can definitely see it getting in the way, but I wouldn't go any smaller than 7. It gets hard to see on anything smaller than 7, especially if you split any kind of screens. You're doing you're doing some side scan and you want some traditional 2D, or you want some mapping. And 7, really 9, honestly. 9 is the smallest I would go. But like I said, kayaks are completely different, so you got to work with a lot smaller boat. But yeah, at least a 7.
So I'm reading Tom's there. I guess they introduced the stripers into that lake too. So it's 55 acres of grass and the deepest spot hitting 100 foot.
Holy cow!
I mean, that's a pretty dang good lake if you're hitting 100 foot. I mean, it's a lot of water.
Jeez, I wonder if that was a strip pit or something, or
it's like an old mine or something, maybe. Yeah.
Wow.
Huh. That's. I would imagine your smallmouth in there are probably getting pretty deep then. See, everything fish. Have you ever tried fishing with
the fake turtle?
The fake turtle. I've never used it, but I feel like there's a frog would be better, or even a basic worm would be better.
Yeah, I agree with that. Everything fish. some of that stuff, I don't know. Have you fished with the turtle?
No, I seen it. It was about 2 years ago. I guess it came out, maybe 3 years ago. I don't even remember the guy's name. He had an info commercial or something on it, and it was showing all these bass eating these turtles and this and that. And I mean, I can honestly say I've seen a lot of small turtles swim, around lakes and ponds and stuff like that, and I've never seen one get eaten. But
I've seen them in
I'm not going to say it
catfish.
doesn't happen.
I've cleaned a catfish a couple
Right.
times. I've seen a turtle in there and a snake, and
Yeah,
they eat kind of whatever. But I don't know. I would go with the frog definitely. I mean, maybe the turtle you can just put in the dash of your car and it just kind of be a showpiece.
Yeah, use for a keychain or something maybe.
I bought one of those flies. I was telling you, Lunker Hunt has it's a big dragonfly.
I got that spider over there.
Yeah, that spider's pretty crazy too. Yeah.
I'm anxious to try that. Coming in spring, and I think around maybe some cattails or something like that. I bet that thing would produce pretty good.
Yeah.
The thing that worries me the most about it is how small the hooks are.
Yeah.
I mean, they're good hooks, but they're pretty small. 16-foot storm for sale. I'll pass the word on Southern Illinois on Facebook. Thanks, we are back for free advertising. No problem, dude. So yeah, if you guys are in the market for a 16-foot crestliner, crestliner, hit Aaron Wessel up. Like I said, he's on the stream all the time. He's on my Facebook if you need to get a hold of him. He's also on Instagram. I forgot your name on that one. I think it's AA Navy Man or something like that. I'd have to look it up and see, but yeah, you guys can definitely hook him up. So, Oklahoma's worst angler. Hi, my name is Alex, and I have ADD. Yes, you do. I will not argue with that, man. So, all right, let's get back up. Took a jump here. I really thought this thing was going to be smoother, but I have a feeling my laptop is just that crappy.
Yeah.
So, Kyle says, with having a weird winter green slime bloom affecting the smallmouth hold in a clear water reservoir. It covered everything, laydowns, and at the bottom, even big boulders. Where would you fish? So he had a big algae bloom.
The bottom's covered.
I'm surprised it still went into now, though.
Yeah, well, that stuff kind of settles on the bottom and kind of stays there. That happens to my pond sometimes. And actually, now that you're saying that, there's another little pond in our park there in my hometown that gets that kind of stuff on the bottom. And you got to fish. You either got to fish a drop shot, you got to fish a jerk bait. Obviously, you're not going to be fishing top water right now. The water temps are probably too cold. But I've actually had luck fishing a weightless trick worm, fluke, or brush hog.
Yeah, so I was going to say a weightless fluke.
Or with like a 16th ounce weight, a really, really small tungsten weight, and something that you can just kind of barely drag through it. But it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, and I will say, just to add to that, as far as talking winter fishing and a fluke, I've even went as far as using a split shot, about 2 foot of the line.
Okay.
So where that split shot can still sit on the bottom, but you're holding it down there. And you get all that movement of that 2 foot leader that you have from the split shot, still getting that free movement there too.
Right. Yeah. So, and in the warmer period, I was throwing a wacky rate 8 to 4.0 when you got stuff on the bottom. It's just going to sink. And once you figure out where your bottom's at, you can just pop it back up, and that makes a difference.
White whale fishing, you are absolutely killing me, man. Like I said, I've got the one in Collinsville to go to, and then at the end of the month, I've got the one at East Tennessee Fishing Expo to go to. If I have to go to 3, my wife is probably going to divorce me, I'm sure. But I'm telling you, that is one guy I want to go see, is Gerald Swindle. I don't know how you are with him, but that dude's
he's
down to earth. I don't know. I could sit and listen to that guy for a day pretty easy, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's I fished the Toyota Owners Tournament a couple different times down at Table Rock and at Pickwick, and he's always there, and he's cutting up. He's
sure.
The same guy, regardless of where he's at. He's a good time.
Brian says, yes, we have a jig skirt tool and some skirts with bands.
Okay.
Like I said, I've never personally used any of those jig skirt kits, but I'm trying to think of anybody that would have. I mean, that I know. One guy you might want to ask is Moxon Lures, but she's on here somewhere. Ask him, maybe see what he thinks about them. He does some of probably the best jigs I've ever seen. So he could probably give you a few pointers on maybe something on there.
Yeah, I've used the skirt making tool that it's almost like the Wacky Rig O-ring holder. It's like basically about the size of a big Sharpie, and it's hollow in the center, and you got you slide your bands up on it, your skirt material through the center of it, and then you just work your band over that skirt material and make your skirt set. That's the one I've used, and it works.
Everything fish. Does anyone trust buying the fish finding bobbers? I would be afraid to use it, even though I don't use bobbers. It would still be cool. I'm trying to think of who I was just talking about those things probably 2 or 3 weeks ago to somebody. I'm trying to think of who it was now. It's the black ones that just look like a bobber. It's just a little fish finder.
Okay.
I can't think of who it was now. They were telling me about they've got one. They were using it, but they said it wasn't real accurate. Which, I mean, I guess for the money, I mean, what do you expect? But I would say for like a small pond or something, I would say it worked pretty decent. You know, if you're just looking for, you know, schools of fish or something like that, I would think that'd work pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially for like wintertime, something like that. A lot of times your bass are going to be typically schooled up together in the wintertime and just around their really deep spots in a pond or something like that. So I could see where it would probably help out quite a bit.
Is that something you actually put on your line and cast it out?
Yeah.
And you have a wireless signal to say your
Yeah,
phone
it's Bluetooth. That's what it was. It was the Bluetooth capability wasn't working that far away. They said you had to keep it close to you. So
that's interesting. I'm not familiar with that.
I'm trying to get the name of it. It's pretty popular. It was out for quite a while now.
Tom says it's an old sand pit, the deep lake that he's talking about.
Oh, I got it. Okay, that makes sense. So, where we at here?
TJ stopped by for a minute. What's up, Tapper Junkie?
Just stopped in and say hi. Have a good night. All right, what's up, dude?
In and out.
I don't know how far this is gonna go, but there we go. Okay. Oklahoma's working singer says boo. Yeah, I'm sure he's got stuff going on tonight. So All Star says he's got one, I guess. It says mine keeps messing up. Call us, no problem, dude. Well, G-Man is hilarious. Dude, I'm sure he is. Like I said, I'd love to sit down and talk to that dude for an hour. Greg's moccasin jigs and bed heads are like real deal, man. Thanks again. I have a video coming out with the channel about them later this week. I will tag you and moccasin all the sites. That's awesome, dude. Like I said, they're, in my opinion, like I said, I fish a lot of jigs. And with what Moccasin did with their head design, it's unmatched. I mean, you can fish there's a lot of football head jigs out there that you can fish on the bottoms. You're constantly going to have snags between rocks and grass and mats and everything else like that. But those Moccasin jigs, that head design is what comes through so well. And I have a very good reputation for taking a jig and hopping it around and actually swimming it in front of a grass line, you know, instead of going back and tying on. But that Moccasin jig, I'm telling you, it's already there. The head design's there. You can flip in any cover you want. And then also with that head design the way it is, you can swim it right past into the grass and it doesn't get hung up either.
WWF, digging the trout fishing videos. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. I've got one more, part 4, that's going to come out sometime. I don't know. I've been sitting on it for a while, just kind of waiting to drop it. It's actually the best one. It's got a lot of footage of the hatchery, and we walked up and we got some fish food, and we're feeding these like 10 to 15 pound trout, and they just mosh in there. It just starts swarming and swirling. It's pretty cool. But yeah, that's a good time down there. It's I used to go to Montauk about every month. And then, you know, when you have kids and you get married and stuff, things slow down. But I'm still able to get there at least once or twice a year, and it's so relaxing, so peaceful out there.
I still remember that smell as soon as you drive into the park.
Smell that fish.
Oh, it's like the power bait.
Yeah,
and it's always what I think of is, you know, when we went down there, we always got that rainbow colored power bait.
Sure.
And that's all you smell as soon as you get in there. I'm like, I can still smell it to this day. I can tell you exactly.
Well, we're
what
gonna
it
have to
is.
get a fly rod in your hand sometime.
I don't know.
Somebody got in some good.
Somebody is probably going to get a hook in their head. It'll probably be myself, but we'll see.
Well, I'll stand on your left side.
So. Well, I'm throwing my left then. Somebody else got to enjoy this.
Hank Snow, Gabe, have you ever tried to tie one of those trot flies? Yes, I have, Hank. I've tied quite a few flies. I don't do it as often, but I've got a few patterns that I made up myself that work really well. I don't tie any of the really small stuff. Most of the stuff I'm tying is size 14 or larger, like elk hair caddis. I'll tie some woolly boogers. I tie some mini jigs, some marabou jigs. San Juan worms are a simple tie. They're pretty easy. But yeah, you know, it's fun. The coolest thing about that is actually making something that you catch fish on. There's something about that. You know, you spend a few minutes tying up a fly and you take it down to the river and you actually catch fish on it. It's pretty cool. It just makes you feel good about, you know, something that you've done. So, but I appreciate you guys. I'm glad you guys like those videos.
Yeah. Like I said, it's not my cup of tea. I couldn't tell you guys how to do that. That's why I pushed you guys over to his channel and share the crap out of his stuff, because I can't do it. I think if I got too fat of fingers for trying to do that stuff. I'd have run a finger or two up in there.
Yeah, it's hard. You know, I'm fishing with 5 and 6X, and that translates to 5X is roughly 5-pound test, and 6X is roughly 3.7-pound test. So when you're trying to tie, you can imagine a size 20 hook, and you're trying to run 3.7-pound fluorocarbon line through the eye of a size 20 hook in the morning in low light conditions.
Yeah, that's not.
It's tough, man. It's tough. I mean, you miss a lot, you know.
Yeah.
But it teaches you patience.
It's like trying to be outside when it's 0.
Yeah,
zero.
Similar.
So Moxley says the skirt kit has pretty. Oh, same people that own Z-Man.
Okay.
So it's like that. I guess a Lastech. Isn't that what it is? Lastech material.
That's the Z-Man's plastic.
Yeah.
I think they use a different skirt material on their. You know, they have like a little skirted Ned jigs.
Oh, I got you. Okay, I thought you were talking about the.
And they actually have spinner baits and stuff too. Z-Man does.
See White Will. I just got a used 5.6 power fly rod. It's 8.5 foot long. Oh, I need to work on my knots, leaders, tippets.
Yeah, tippets over the winter, so I can start casting next year. Yeah, you know, I actually have I've got a few videos on my channel that you might want to research. You'll have to look. Some of them are from a while back, but the triple surgeon's knot. We're getting off on a fly fishing tangent here, but the triple surgeon's knot is a good knot to tie your leader to your main floating fly line. And actually, I'm sorry, the nail knot I would use to go from your floating fly line to your tippet, or to your tapered leader, and then from your tapered leader to your tippet, you're going to use the triple surgeon's knot. And then I use it's called a noose swirl knot. That's what I'm using to tie my tippet to my actual fly. And I've got a video on the noose swirl knot. It's a real simple tie. It's a really small knot. It's really strong. I've caught some 10-pound channel cat in my pond on that knot, and it holds up really well. But you won't have a problem finding information when you're out there. But yeah, the winter's a good time to go to some of these ponds and stuff, because the vegetation, like the grass and stuff, is mowed down. And, you know, you don't have a lot of stuff to worry about getting caught up on your line. But that's the best place to learn to fly fish, is on a little farm pond, because you don't have to deal with the moving water. If you go out to a river the first time, not only are you learning the technique, but you also have to contend with the moving water. And then that's when your mending and all that comes into play. So the best place to learn how to fly fish and for casting is on a pond, or even in just a slick field, you know, before you even go onto the water. But yeah, man, stay in contact with me if you got any questions about that. I can definitely help you.
Yeah, and he's subscribed to your channel, isn't he?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
sure.
Yeah. I'll say he actually started. And if you guys haven't seen any of his stuff, Whitewell Fishing actually started a YouTube channel. So if you guys haven't been over there to put your subscription in with him, make sure you guys go do that. He's got some good stuff coming. He actually put one out today for, I think it was a buyer's guide to soft swim baits, I think is what it was. Like I said, I haven't watched it yet, but he's got some pretty good stuff coming. So make sure you guys go check him out. See everything fish. Good night, everyone. Everyone press that like button. And if you're not already subscribed, keep on reeling. There you go, dude. I appreciate it. And Gabe appreciates it too. You know, make sure you guys are hitting both channels.
So, WF, he asked me if I use a local fly store. I get a lot of stuff just off the internet. No, there's not anybody around here that carries fly fishing stuff.
So the only one I would be close to Montauk.
Yeah, there's a few in St. Louis. There's a Feathercraft. That's a pretty good store if you're ever in that area. You can stop by there. They've got a really good selection. But when I'm down at Montauk, I go to Reed's Cabins. They have the best supplies. Kelly, she has everything priced right, and she's pretty knowledgeable about that stuff. That's usually where I stock up on my gear.
Tied bonefish and a tarpon flies from my dad when I lived in the Keys. Caught my first tarpon on a fly tied. That was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
I think tarpon would be probably one of my top go-to fish I'd want to go catch.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think I'd want to deal with I think Scott Martin had probably several different videos out when they went tarpon fishing, but the sharks, I guess it was the Mako sharks, were just constantly in there. Mm-hmm. Every time they'd hook up to one, they'd have to let it loose.
Yeah, they'll just bite your fish in half.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, I don't think I'd want to deal with that, but I think it'd be pretty neat to go down and do it at least once, just see what it's like.
I tried to catch some carp on a fly several times, and carp are pretty smart fish. There was do you remember the Grossiders ponds down south of Jackson? You may not.
No.
They're pay lakes, but they're just there was 3 small ponds there, and they had some 40 and 50 pound American grass carp in there, and you could see them cruising along the top of the water, just kind of sucking that algae. They like the cottonseed that comes out of cottonseed trees in the fall or in the late summer. And so I tied up a couple just white, puffy little flies. And, man, they would come right up, and it was just so close, and they just swim right by. I never hooked up with one, but that's a fish I'd like to catch.
I'll say I've always done them fishing for corn, with corn.
Uh-huh.
Just floating corn on a treble hook. And I've caught them like that. But, you got to get such a small hook to where it don't sink it.
Right.
It's hard to stay hooked up. They just bend it out a lot.
Very strong fish.
Yeah. I know the one in my pond here we caught probably it's probably been 6 or 7 years ago, I guess. And he was 38 pounds then when I caught him. And we put him back in there. He's kind of like the pet of the pond now, though.
Yeah.
We don't mess him. He's the only one in there, so.
We got some monsters I got a little 5-acre lake behind my house, and it turned over about 7 or 8 years ago. And so we decided just to get all the fish out of there and start fresh. But we took I had a big musky rod, a 7-foot extra head reel, and we had like 50-pound test on there. And I had a big, probably a size 10-aught treble hook with about a 1 ounce weight on there.
Good.
And I was just casting over them and snagging them.
Oh,
and they were all between 30 and 50. I got a picture somewhere where we had like 14 or 15 of those things laying up on the bank. And it was fun, man. There's still some in the lake. I see them jump up every once in a while.
I don't have the picture of the one I got from the pond up there. That's the one from. No, that's it. Let's see if I can get that. I don't know if it'll show up on here or not, but it's kind of wrinkled up. Kids have played with it and everything else. And yeah, that was one that I caught here in my pond. What you can see of them there, but
when you got a bear hug them, that means they're big.
Yeah, he was 38 pounds in. We weighed him. Like I said, that's been 6-7 years ago. But I accidentally snagged him with a rattle trap. What happened? Snagged him right in the tail.
Huh.
And he put up a fight and pulled that John boat around that pond for 30 minutes straight.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you finally had to tell.
Yeah, I finally had to yell at Lisa, my wife, and have her come down there and drive the John boat so I could keep up with him and finally get him in.
Was it Phantom Fishing that had a video not too long ago where he snagged carp in the tail? I think he was in a little small boat, and it was.
If it was, I missed it. If it was, I didn't even see it.
I'm pretty sure that's who it was. It got off right at the boat after he fought it for a long time.
That sounds about right. Yeah. See, White Fishing says, I had no idea tungsten was pressed and imported. Not a big fan of that. Let's support an American made. Yep, definitely. And that's with moccasin lures, you don't have to worry about that. It's all made here. You guys are talking my language now. I've got 80 to 100-pound tarpon under my belt.
Wow.
I've assisted in dozens of shark catches, 5 to 12 foot in length, off the pier in Deerfield Beach, Florida.
Yeah.
I forgot you lived there. I do remember you saying that though. I have no interest in messing with sharks.
Yeah,
I don't even like messing with a stupid muskie. I mean, those things get me every once in a while. They scare the crap out of me if they just twitch and turn just wrong.
We used to go down to Dauphin Island down near Mobile, Alabama, and go out and we'd go out at like 10 o'clock at night to the oil rigs out there and just drop a rope off the oil rig and just let the current push us off and fish out there at night. And we used to catch a lot of those king mackerel. And man, those ocean fish are a completely different animal. They're so strong.
Yeah.
You know, you think you got something that's 30 pounds and it ends up it's like just a 20-inch fish or
it's like
fish.
going smallmouth fishing almost. I mean, those things are just tanks.
Yeah. They're just made for speed. Their tails are real hard, so they don't flex as much, and they got so much power.
Yeah. Aaron, I see that. And Brad, thanks for watching, man. You need to get on here and so you can comment on here, man. I haven't talked to you in a while.
Chris is recommending Swagger Tackle Tungsten. So
Swagger Tackle, yes.
Swagger Tackle, like the name.
Let's see, Whitewell says tarpon was caught on 30-pound test, 1 hour fight. Most shark catches that size take 2 to 3 hours.
A piece
off a pier.
Yeah.
Holy cow! I couldn't imagine. I'll be honest with you guys. There's a lot of guys out there say they went and fought a fish for 20 and 30 minutes, and it was the greatest thing ever. I fought a carp this past summer with a guy I took fishing at a local lake here into a carp with a swim jig, and fought that thing for probably 20 minutes, and it was nonstop pulling drag. I mean, my drag was tightened down, and I had 17-pound fluoro on there, and I mean he just kept ripping line, and after about 15-20 minutes, my arms were on fire. I can imagine doing it for an hour or two.
No,
I just say, here, you can have it. I'm done.
So that's why they have the fighting belt.
Yeah, I mean,
put the rod butt in there.
Yeah, because there's no way you could sit there and just. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you're in extremely well fitness and in great shape or whatever, by all means, have at it. But I have just no interest in fighting something for that long. Holy cow! Oh, let's see where we're at there. Oh, there's Bob. Hey, guys. Bob. Wednesday is looking good for some trout fishing at Legion Lake. Anyone want to go?
I would if I didn't have to work.
Yeah, that's by the time I get off work, it's already dark. So
I'll have to hook up with you, Bob, and we'll go up there. You can let me know next time you're going up there again. Just hit me up on Facebook, and I'll try to make that trip.
And actually, I told Bob, he didn't know the other day you can put your boat in there. So I told him that. So you'll have to make a trip over there. That's a good little lake to fish, really is. Whitewell fishing, what would you catch live? 15-pound bonitas and mackerel, and use them as live bait for sharks. They would swim out 100 to 200 yards and die, and we would wait.
Got us a saltwater show going on here.
Yeah, no kidding. Something I know nothing about.
Me either. I know very little about it. It's been a while.
I think if I was going to go saltwater fishing, I think of one thing down and just start fishing.
So I'm wondering if anybody's been out, this last couple of weeks, what the bite's like. We went fishing, like I said, this week
from is it Berkeley?
The jerk bait, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's Berkeley. I don't have to remember, look at it and see, but I threw that for a little bit, but just had absolutely no action on that thing at all. I even threw a little bit, a medium diving crankbait, dove down to about 8 foot around the rocks and stuff. I figured with that sun hitting them, they'd be up there a little bit farther, but I couldn't get into anything. Threw the jig around quite a bit, finesse jig, couldn't get anything. I just, like I said, it was a tough deal up there. But looks like Gabe brought some goodies here. See what he's got in his box here.
Yeah, I was just gonna show you some, since it's getting into the cold water period, I was just gonna show you some of the cold water crankbaits that I like to throw this time of the year. Just because it's getting cold doesn't mean you have to completely slow down, especially when that water is still in the upper 40s. There's still a bite out there to be had with a moving bait. DT6. You guys are probably familiar with that. Is that one of you like the DT6 in the cold water? You know, that's a DT6. You know, that's just a shad pattern. That's a really productive bait this time of the year. And also the Little Johns. You know, these are flat side crankbaits here. The Little John that's a really good bait. That's the spring crawl. It's made by Spro. That's right. It's got a really tight wobble. And then another one that not a lot of people throw anymore is this bomber. I think it's called a Square A. Is that right? Can't remember. It's been a while since I threw this, but there was several years where I really leaned on this bait. It's got a really flat profile. This comes through the grass really well. Speaking of which, really good bait this time of year. You're getting that. And the rock crawler, wigglewort rock crawler, any kind of crawl pattern. This one gets down in that 9 to 11 foot zone. These other ones are, you know, like the 6 foot and shallower zone. But the rock crawlers are really good bait in the cold water period. And this is the one I throw the most, the shad wraps. I mean, I like the size 7, size 5 to 7. Really, the size 7 is probably the one I throw the most. This is that classic color, you know, silver black back. It's hard to beat. The other day I was catching them on the baby bass color. It's got that green back. I don't think I have it. No, it's still tied on actually. But they make a lot of good colors. There's this shad, just a traditional shad color. I got 2 of them tied together. You know how crankbaits are. That's a good color. And the crawl patterns still play. You know, they got a lot of good crawl patterns. Those are really starting to play right now, especially in the spring. You know, I'll be throwing that one a lot. And then if you got a little bit of stain in your water, this gold color. And I'm throwing all these on a spinning rod. I mean, you can throw them on a bait caster, but it's a pain. Light. Better be medium light. These things really like to biscuit out on you. They like to plane and take off. It's hard to actually make a straight cast with them, you know, 10 out of 10 times. A lot of them, they're just going to plane out sideways. So spinning rod, I'm still throwing 15-pound braid with a 8-pound fluorocarbon leader, you know, like 7-8 foot long, and a medium light. I use the same rod for these as I do like my drop shots or my wacky rig. But this is a killer, guys, right now. You can still catch them. Just crank this thing down. It gets down about 5 to 7 feet. I actually use a snap on the front, and I think that pulls that nose down a little bit and lets them run just a little bit deeper.
I was gonna say about 6 to 8.
Yeah. So, and I was catching them right on the outside of the grass line the other day. Those fish were kind of sitting out off the grass, and they were whacking it, follow it right up to the bow and just kind of sit there, and you know, and then shad baits.
You know, speaking of that, I was gonna show you guys. It's supposed to be diving 3 to 6 foot, and that crawl pattern that should be a pretty good deal this time of year. But I forgot it the other day. I didn't get to take it with me, but now I'm gonna get all the Guggen haters on here yelling at me.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of either love it or you don't.
See, Hank Snow says the flat-sided cranks are the best in cold weather. I'm not gonna say they're the best. I would definitely say they've got their places, depending on where you're at. If I'm fishing around a lot of riprap, stuff like that, I really do like the flat-sided ones. You get around probably anywhere from that 5 to 8 range, especially if the sun is out and it's warming up them rocks. I seem to get bit a lot better that way. Michael Fishing says, Grapple also makes a suspending plastic shad wrap that I want to pick up.
Mm-hmm. I've got some of those. Yep. There's a lot of the shad wrap style baits. Berkeley makes it's like a fishing frenzy bait. I'm not sure. Strike King makes like a little, I think it's called a lucky shad. They're the same profile as the shad wraps. They actually cast a little bit better, but I'm kind of fond of those original shad wraps. You know, I'm usually, like I said, the size 7 is the one I'm throwing the most. You know, they make I think 9, size 8, size 9. You can throw those with a bait caster a little bit better. You know, if you're wanting a little bit bigger profile bait. You're talking about cold water crankbaits and the rock crawler. I've caught fish in 41-degree water with that rock crawler, which is crazy. You wouldn't think that you could get bit on something moving, but something about that real wide wobble. A lot of times it's something real crazy or something real tight. That's what they're looking for this time of year.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys have seen or not, but I know since I actually has, I think it's Oklahoma's Winger and I were talking about some ago, but I think it's the Quake 80, which is like a rattle trap and it's suspending. So I think I'll probably get one of those to see how that works. So it's a half ounce too. So I'm anxious to see how that works. Because there's a many times I wish I would have had that little extra weight to get it down there and stay and suspend with it. Would be great. But
yeah, I'd definitely like to check that out. See, Tom says if you put a size 4 extra short shank hook on a size 5 shad wrap, it will make it suspend and easier to cast. Also, yeah, you're right. Changing the hooks makes a big difference. The same with the jerk baits. I fished with a guy at Kentucky Lake several years ago, and he used to take the shad wraps and drill a hole right in the right by the bill, on the front part of that crankbait, and put a little BB or a little split shot in there and make those things spin and kind of give them a nose down presence. He said he'd order 50 at a time, and he had a drill press and vise, and he'd just do all 50 of them, and he just epoxy them, and they work pretty good. So there's a lot of little tricks you can use. That's a good tip though.
Yeah, I know the suspending rode that for a long time there. Where guys were getting in trouble was changing out the hooks on them. They wouldn't suspend right.
They're finicky.
Yeah,
I mean they really are.
that's the water more than
The back
in the water.
Yeah,
I've learned that their eyesight gets very poor the colder the water gets. I don't know if I've ever, like I say, I've never heard it. I don't remember hearing anything about their eyesight getting worse as the water gets colder.
Yeah, I haven't heard that. I'm not sure. He was saying that they lateral line more in colder water than they do their eyesight because I guess their vision isn't as good in colder water. I never heard of that.
I mean, just my personal opinion, I would think their vision would get better with the water being clear, because a lot of times in your winter, your water really stabilizes and you don't have as much blowing the water around and stuff moving and pollen and stuff like that floating around in the water. That's typically why your water is so clear in the winter.
But yeah, you get your best screenshots right now on a graph. Right. That water's a whole lot clearer. Like you said, the pollen's gone. There's no algae. Yeah, I didn't know that. I'll have to look into that. It's interesting.
Yeah. Fox says I picked up some spinning rod. Well, I picked up a spinning rod every now and then. It ain't pretty. Lost my touch. Always throwing bait casters.
Yeah.
I can relate to that. Matter of fact, I did my skipping video here just about a month or two ago, and that was actually I try not to throw the spinning rod too often. I'd like to get everything where I'm sure, but when you're throwing weightless stuff or shaky head or something like that, you got to use your spinning rod. But I completely agree. You've got to tune with it, and it's hard to go flat CBs. And bevy shads that work good for winter fishing.
Yeah, this is that little Berkeley frenzy I was talking about. This is a 5 size. It's a plastic bait. Casts a little bit better than the size 5 shad wrap.
Not much better.
Not much better. It's got a longer bill.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If it's windy up, you can just put it back in the box. I can tell you that.
Yeah. I carry a spinning rod almost all the time. I kind of got out of there's a couple months where I went out and I did not have a spinning rod in the boat. And the other day I went out, I had 2, a shaky head and then one for the shad wrap. But it's good to have one.
Yeah,
just for backup.
In my opinion, like in spring, you get a lot of your bluegill and your smaller bait fish and stuff like that really get up in the grass before the bass get up there. Mm-hmm. And that's probably one of my favorite times to pick up a spinning reel with a just completely weightless trick worm, or even a Cinco or stick trick or trick stick or whatever you want to call them. And that's my favorite time to use them.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to get out of that mindset of you're setting a hook with a bait caster to a spinning setup because you end up snapping them every time as soon as you try to set a hook like that.
Yeah. Yeah, you just kind of just reel in and sweep set. That's all you really have to do.
Yeah. Let's see. There's another suspending lipless on the market.
Made by I'm a big company.
I gotcha. We'll suspend for sure, and the water temp is right. I hope you can see it better than I can, because I've got nothing but a big glare right across the screen.
So Chris said the Berkeley Bad Shad is a good cold water bait. Okay, I'm sure that's a little crankbait. I'm not familiar with that one. Okay, Bob was saying, anyone have some info fishing crystal clear water in a creek for smallmouth bass? Went out this weekend, had 12 plus foot visibility. Why? Wow. Tried jig square bills, Ned rigs, etc. Creeks are really tough once that water cools off. I mean, there's going to be a hole somewhere in a mile stretch that a lot of those fish will migrate to, and if you can find that, then that's then you're going to be golden. But I've never really done that good in a creek. Once that water temperature gets in the 40s, it just gets tough.
Yeah, and I would say there was this is something I personally do, and I don't fish them that often when it gets as cold, because a lot of times I'm wading through a creek. Small, and I mean small, I'm talking anywhere from 1.5 to 2.5 inch swim bait, just a small swim bait with a small head on it, does really, really well, because it's just imitating their bait fish that are already there. You're going to get hung up a lot, though, I can tell you that. The other guy was, I think, North Dakota kayaker or ND Yacker or something like that. I forgot the name of his channel, but he does a lot of, he's from North Dakota, and he does a lot of kayak fishing in small creeks and stuff like that. And I mean, he just released one a couple days ago or last week that he was on a creek that actually had, or a small river, I guess I should say, that had ice around the whole edges. And that's what he was fishing with, was a small little swim bait with a small little jig head on it. And he wasn't really swimming it, though. He was just kind of hopping it across them. Like you said, he looked for the deepest hole he possibly could. And I think at the time it was only like 6 to 8 foot deep. And he'd just get in those little holes and just kind of hop that little head through there and not really swim it. And that's what he was getting good on. He was catching some pretty nice smallmouth, too. I can't even name, it's like North Dakota Yacker or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah, you got to find those wintering holes. All those fish will migrate there. So WWF was saying he heard about the eyesight deal from Alex Rudd on his live stream Friday night. Something to do with the cold water being more dense, which that makes sense. Yeah. Definitely. I mean, bass do use their lateral line a lot, and then as soon as that bait gets close enough to their eyesight, so they're visual feeders mainly, but that lateral line does come into play a lot. They can come in before they can actually see it. It's say a lipless crankbait, something that's putting on a lot of vibration. They'll hear it. I mean, you can hear it. Make a 30-yard cast and stroke that lipless one time. You can feel it in your John boat. You can feel it, so the bass can hear it. So as it gets closer, their vision takes over. But yeah, that's interesting. Oh, Tom's saying
to a sinker. Oh, he's talking about switching the hooks out. I got you.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, Tom. I'm trying to read this, but I got like a giant glare across the screen. I can barely read anything over there.
Yeah, I've played around a lot with the jerk baits last couple of years, and 42 to 50 is usually depending on the brand, but let's say just a mega bass. I was throwing in 48-degree water, and it was suspending perfect. So 42 to 48, right in that range, you usually get the perfect suspending action. And then, that's with stock hooks, But a lot of times I've actually put a size 4 on that front to make it go nose down and slowly sink.
Well, I can tell you, if you want a Vision 110, I know where one's at at Kraken Lake. It's only been there since Saturday. So
really?
Yeah, I can see it too. That's a bad part. It was down about 5 foot. I just couldn't quite reach it. I even had you see my little snag deal that I've got in the front of my boat for crankbaits, and I still could get that far.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, that's why they sell them.
Yeah, for a hefty little price.
Mm-hmm. Tom says the cold water affects their cones and rods in their eyes. That makes total sense. I hadn't ever looked into that.
Yeah. Like I think it's probably the first. I'm not gonna say it's the first time I've heard that, but it's
Well, it's just something else to make it tougher in the wintertime. Water's already cold, their metabolism's slow, and now they can't see.
Big Show.
Big Show, what's up, Mike?
If anyone has checked out Carl's free Black Friday sales, I have not yet. I know Tackle Junkie was talking about it last night on his live stream, and evidently it was a pretty good deal. And like I said, if you guys aren't, on Carl's, it's really a heck of a deal to go to. I mean, I think it's what $49 for the year, but you're saving 30%. Plus, you get your free shipping. Pretty much, if you do one or two orders on there, you'll make your money back. Plus, then some. If you're into buying reels and stuff like that or rods, that's another big advantage to it. But I think a lot of the times on the rod and reels and the more expensive stuff like that, they give you like an in-store credit instead, which isn't a bad deal. So you can go back and buy your, whatever bait you want after that with it. But you save a ton of money by doing that. And in my opinion, I think it's better than most of the subscription boxes out there. With that 30%, I mean, you're going to pay anywhere from $15 to $40 a month for your subscription boxes, which I know it can make you a better angler because you don't know what you're getting. It's going to make you go outside your comfort zone and try different things. But if you're not into that, Carl's is the place to be with that.
Yeah, WWF was talking about the Vision 110. It's rated for 55-degree water. In a colder water, it actually turns into a super slow. It does. It sinks really, really, really slow. And, that's, to me, that's what I like. A lot of times I'm jerking. You don't have to worry about it getting hung up in the grass because you're not let it sit for. I usually let it sit for 3 to 5 seconds. So it's a slow sink. But I actually like that because it kind of comes down to the fish that's sitting right there at the top of the grass. So to me, that's spinning right. I guess I should have clarified that. It's not actually spinning; it is sinking a little slow.
OOW, here's that. What that says? OOW?
Yeah, OOW Outdoors for that video. Okay.
I don't think who that is. OOW.
I don't know. So I wanted to mention real quick before we wrap this up, I'm coming up on 700 subscribers. And when I hit that 700 subscriber mark, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. I got Big Nate from Big Nate's Bait and Tackle. He custom paints baits. He does a really good job. He's going to be throwing something my way. And I think Bite Me Baits of Kentucky is going to be throwing a few jigs in there. So when we get up to 700 subscribers, we'll do a giveaway of some sort, and I'll probably just drop a video and just kind of go through some details, and we'll go from there. But I'm looking forward to that 700 subscribers and looking forward to give back a little bit of product to you guys. It's going to work for you. Yeah, check out Big Nate's Big Tackle on Facebook. Check it out. He does custom paint on
some unbelievable.
He does a really good job. Yeah. He's painting jerk baits right now, some square bills. He's even got some wiggle type baits, and yeah, they look really, really good. I've got some stuff that he's working on for me right now, so I can't wait to get them. But
Phantom fishing in the house. What's going on, dude?
What's up, Phantom? We were just talking about you. Didn't you have a video where you hooked into a massive carp and you fought it for quite a while, pulled your boat around, and then it got off right at the boat? I'm pretty sure that was your video. I'm sure if it was, you'll remember.
Yeah, I'm trying to think which one it was. I don't miss many of his videos, but I just don't remember seeing it.
Thanks, WF. I'm working on it. It's slow. It's getting there. Upstate Angler. Notifications lately. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Says he hasn't been getting notifications lately. YouTube's been doing some weird stuff last month.
I ran into the same issue. Yeah. I've been telling a couple guys about it. Tackle Junkie and I talked about that probably 3 weeks ago, I guess it was. It was really weird because I was getting unsubscribed from his channel. I told him I wasn't getting notified on some of his stuff, and then I went in, and as soon as I looked it up, I had to subscribe to his channel like 3 different times in 1 week. I don't know what was going on with that, but I know Oklahoma's Worst Angler, he had the same issue with his. The subs have been really weird too. Like I might gain 5 or 6 subs, and then all of a sudden I go back and I'm down 3.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I'm assuming it has to do a lot with the change right now with that child act deal or whatever.
Yeah. I've noticed this happened about a week and a half ago. If I used my Google browser on my phone, I would try to just type in a YouTube channel. It wouldn't let me get on that channel. It would say something about your phone has been recognized as something. And the same thing was happening to my wife's phone. So it made me actually get the YouTube app.
Really?
As soon as I uploaded the YouTube app on my iPhone, then I can punch in anything I want. I go to their site. So I don't know if that's just. Yeah, let me know if that's going on. If you guys have ran into that, I don't know if it's just my phone or my system, or if that's just a way that they're getting you to actually upload their app. But it was happening. It was frustrating.
Aaron, I've done read your mind, and I actually have that queued up to play after we're all done set here. Dudley's got some really good stuff on his channel, and I don't see him as one of those guys. I won't throw any names out there, but there's a lot of professionals out there that will give you small hints or tips to do things, but they won't physically show you everything that they do. And as soon as you go out and try to do or replicate what they're doing, it never works out. But with Dudley, I'd say he shows you just about everything on there. I've tried a few of his hacks, and pretty much every single one of them worked every time. So I hand it out to that dude. He's pretty good at it.
Yeah, Phantom Fishing. Yeah, that was a hog. So he was the one that caught that carp. Yeah, that was an exciting little video. It just
I'll have to go back and watch it. I didn't even see it. That's what I'm saying. I'm going back to
or something.
Yeah, but I'm going back to the same notification deal. I'm surprised because I watch all of his videos. I didn't even see it.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it.
Let's see. Tom says I signed up for Carl's last night. Looked over the site some today. Tom, you'll be happy at Carl's. They treat you pretty good. I got no complaints with them at all. Let's see where we at there. Hooks and split rings. So I've been able to sleep tonight. Some headphones on. Just stick the headphones on. Stick YouTube on. Make sure you stick me and Gabe's videos on repeat and just play all night long. That's why you're here.
Yeah. Yeah, David Dudley he's one of a kind, man. He's got access to an Olympic sized swimming pool where he does a lot of his testing on baits and stuff. And I've listened to a lot of his podcasts and watched a lot of his stuff. And he's talking about swim baits on a long cast. A swim bait, most manufactured swim baits don't do what you think as far as the tail, and you don't realize that. Like if you just drop a bait in the water and just kind of run it by the side of the boat,
right,
it does one thing. But when you've got 50, 60, 70 yards of line out there, that bait does a completely different thing on a long cast. And with that Olympic-sized swimming pool, he's able to actually check out the baits. For instance, like a rage crawl. He says a rage crawl has very little action on the body. Which I love a rage crawl. I'll catch a rage crawl.
Yeah.
He said like a package hunt has pork fat put into it. So it actually is buoyant. It's going to stand up at the bottom, or a rage crawl just lays flat.
I can see that.
But I don't know. They still got the rage crawl just fine for me.
I guess that's where you get with moccasins, bedheads. But no. Much respect to him. Great man. All around.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, been in this about an hour and 15 minutes, so I think we're done for the evening. Hopefully, you guys will tune in next week. We'll do another one, and watch out for our videos dropping this week. So, if you guys aren't subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you smash that thumbs up. We greatly appreciate it.
Yep.
And we'll see you guys again next week. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
What a type of, that's moccasins that you just signed up with.